It's 7:04, and here's a live look at the U.S. Capitol on this January the 6th. Today, marking 2 years since the attack that rocked the nation and then led to an 18-month-long congressional investigation into who is to blame for the violence. Kate Walsh is in studio with more on how this attack further divided Congress, including what we're seeing right now in the Capitol. Kate?
Well, Danielle, 2 years later, tensions are still high and the political divide is still so strong right now on the House floor at the same building that was attacked 2 years ago. Many people remember watching this unfold on live TV on January 6th, 2021. About 2,000 people broke into the Capitol, many violently. 4 people died that day, and an officer died the next day from injuries sustained in the attack. It was sparked by the certification of the 2020 presidential election results, declaring Joe Biden as the winner. After months of hearings, a House Select Committee suggested former President Donald Trump was the central cause of the attack. Trump called the hearings a political witch hunt. Well, fast forward 2 years to where we are today, and we're seeing not just a division between Democrats and Republicans, but a split among the GOP, which can't agree on who should be the next Speaker of the House. Kevin McCarthy has now lost 11 votes. Our political analyst Joe Fleming says this gridlock could continue even after a Speaker is selected.
It's going to be very tough for them to govern these next 2 years because they only have a very slim majority at this point in the Congress, and they can't seem to agree on a Speaker. What happens when we come up with the budget? What happens when we come up with the spending bills? You know, are they going to be able to reach consensus there?
Congress cannot be sworn in until they have a speaker. And to mark this 2-year anniversary, there are a couple of events being held today in our area. One this afternoon in Fall River and a candlelight vigil in Newport at 4:30. Live in the studio, I'm Kate Walsh, 12 News.
It is 7:32, and today is the 2-year anniversary of the deadly attacks on the U.S. Capitol that unfolded on live TV. 2 years later, though, we're still seeing tension on the House floor. Congress still cannot come to an agreement on a new Speaker of the House. Kate Walsh is live in our studio with more on what our political analyst is saying about the situation.
Well, for many, this was difficult to watch. The People's House being attacked all over the certification of electoral votes that made Joe Biden the next president and not Donald Trump. Since then, we've seen so much division and a change in congressional leadership from November's election. A House divided against itself, still standing for now, but after 11 votes, Republicans cannot unify over a speaker, specifically Kevin McCarthy.
Seems like every time he gives them what they want, they move the goal line.
They being a group of about 20 conservative Republicans, one deciding to vote for former President Donald Trump in one of the 11 rounds of voting rather than an elected member of Congress. Heated and divided, sure, but peaceful tension compared to exactly 2 years ago on the same House floor. About 2,000 Americans then storming the Capitol, angry for the most part of the results of the presidential election. In the days and months following the attack that killed 4 people that day and an officer the following day, the world watched on live TV as a bipartisan House Select Committee interviewed hundreds of people and combed through thousands of pages of evidence, concluding just last month that Trump was the central cause of the deadly chaos. Trump calling it all a witch hunt. This past election saw many Trump-backed candidates losing their elections.
The Republicans never got the big red wave they were supposed to have, which would have given Kevin McCarthy like about 50 Republicans extra, he thought, which he would be able to get him into the speakership easily. That never happened.
Former President Trump urging Republicans earlier this week to vote for McCarthy and get to work. Until a speaker is selected, Congress cannot be sworn in.
There's no work being done in the House. The congressmen or congressmen-elect are not getting briefings, especially classified material, because technically there's no congressman at this point.
The FBI continues to investigate the January 6th attack. So far, 3 Rhode Islanders have been charged in connection to the violence. Live in the studio, I'm Kate Walsh, 12 News.